At GNC, we get a lot of questions about why will my sprayer not build pressure, or why does it lose pressure? This is a common problem. Most of it comes from the filter assembly. When people clean their filter, often they just dump it out and don't realize that they haven't put the O-ring back in when they screw it back on. So we need to make sure that we have the O-ring in, and it's always a good idea to put a little bit of Vaseline around that O-ring so that it'll be sure and seal off. When putting the filter assembly back together, hand tight is all we need. But if that O-ring is not in there, we will get a suction leak. Also, this cup, this clear cup, often might have a hairline fracture in it. That can cause a suction leak. Now that we've went over the filter assembly, the next place we need to check for a suction leak would be the suction line. We need to look to make sure that the fittings on the suction line are good and tight. We need to make sure that the hose has no pinholes or no deterioration in it. And we need to follow it all the way back to where it picks up on the other side of the tank. Now let's come over to the other side of the tank and let's inspect the bulkhead fitting and the pickup tube. The last thing we want to check when diagnosing a suction leak is our suction pickup tube. This is a PVC tube that runs all the way down to the bottom of the tank and connects at the top of the tank with a bulkhead fitting. We want to make sure that this tube has no cracks, no deterioration, or no clogs. You might want to inspect the packing. It may be time to change the packing. We suggest 3 to 4 years, then you should change your packing. If you suspect you have a regulator problem, the best way to diagnose this is to take a pair of channel locks on your lead line and lightly apply pressure. See if this gauge moves at all. If this gauge moves, then you more than likely have a bad regulator. Also, check your regulator really good closely to see if there's any pinholes or any leakage coming around it. That's also a telltale sign for a bad regulator. And just as a reminder, our P530 and P550 series pumps are designed to be run at full throttle. So make sure you're running them at full throttle. Last but not least, it's always a good idea to check your belts. If your belts are slipping, or if they're worn, or if they're not tight, your pump and engine combo is not going to work correctly.